It's no secret that parking is at a premium in downtown Toronto, but one councillor we spoke with says her office is seeing complaints about the misuse of accessible permits, and she's pushing for staff to take action.
For the last 3 years, the staff are telling me there's nothing they can do. Their hands are tied. They need to change the bylaw.
In the vast ward of University-Rosedale, filled with narrower streets and shrinking public parking options, councillor Dianne Saxe says she's feeling the frustration.
The typical thing we hear is either A, so-and-so restaurant, we've had regular gig workers all these years, everything, they've just parked beside the street. Now that there's a no parking zone there, the same people are showing up and now they have accessible permits on their dash.
She says she's received reports workers near construction sites are doing it too.
They get out of their truck, they slap a disabled permit on the dash, they pick up their toolbox, and off they go to build a condo building. Now, there are hidden disabilities, I understand that, but this pattern of, it looks like concentrated abuse.
Under City of Toronto rules, people who have accessible permits are exempt from several restrictions, such as parking in certain prohibited areas, abiding by maximum time limits, and paying at meters on streets. In 2022, there were around 770,000 permits issued across Ontario, a figure Saxe says has jumped since. During a recent brief tour in parts of the ward, we didn't see any obvious examples of potential misuse.
People with a significant range of disabilities need an accessibility parking permit. They may not be able to walk at all and they use a mobility device, or they may have a chronic fatiguing condition so they can't walk very far.
David Lepofsky is an advocate for persons with disabilities. He stresses there's a strong and legitimate need for permits, but adds rules need tightening.
This is a serious, serious problem. We need effective law enforcement, but we also need circumstances where we can prove or allege misuse of these. That may involve creating a new penalty, creating a new offense.
We contacted the Ontario government to ask about how permits are issued, as well as the concerns raised. We didn't hear back by our broadcast deadline. Saxe says one potential solution could be different rules for Toronto residents versus visitors. She says she's been waiting for years for staff to report back with recommendations to address this permit issue, and there have been repeated delays, including at a committee last week.
Abuse of those spaces really damages some of the more vulnerable people among us.
So as for what comes next, city staff have been directed to report back to councillors sometime in June with potential recommendations on how to address the problem. We'll have more on this story at citynews.ca. In downtown Toronto, Nick Westoll, City News.